I have a happy birthday I was playing with, and so I did part of it in Make the Cut because I wanted to do the shadow here. This is the card I was doing. So this is a happy birthday card for a granddaughter. And you notice that it's got a pedestal here, then it's got happy birthday with hearts. But the reason I started in Make the Cut is that I wanted to do the shadow, and I wanted to bring just the shadow in here. And so this is a very simple card. You know, I don't do anything complex. We leave all the complex pop-ups for Susan because she's so good at it. But this is quick and simple. So what I started with in Make the Cut was, I'll get a new page here, the text and fonts, and I wanted to do something with a script because normally when I do pop-up cards I have done block letters and not scripts, so I wanted to try it. Don't be afraid to try new things. So I click on the T to add my text, and I wanted happy birthday. So I'll click on accept. And maybe I can zoom in a little bit more so you can see. So I'm building my design in Make the Cut. I want birthday to be under happy, and I kind of would like it to where it fits without overlapping too much. I could spread these letters out just a little, maybe, so that those things are not running into each other. Do the happy part. It's about as close as I could get it, maybe a little more to the right. You can make your text the way you want it. And I'm not welding it or anything because those letters are too thin, I think, to be cutting that much. So what I want to do is select it all and click the shadow. Now when I'm shadowing text, usually, like I said, 0.02 works well. It could be 0.03, but sometimes I lose too much detail with 0.03. Let's look at what 0.03 would look like. And you can preview in here. Well, that would be okay. I'm going to try 0.2. I think that's better. And accept. Then I'm going to just delete the original. You can tell it's original because it says honey script layer. I'll just click the X. That gets rid of the original. And this is already all welded together for me, so I don't have to do any welding. I'll go to outline to show you that it's all one group here. Now this would be the letters. But what I want on the card is the shadow. So I'm going to make these light pink. But I also want to shadow these, and the shadow is what I'm going to take over to Pop-Up Card Studio. So I'm going to click on the shadow. And on the shadow, I like it to be at least a 0.08, maybe even 0.1. I think that's okay. If I don't, sometimes I don't like these holes, you know, this white space in here. So that's when I would click blacked out. But for this particular design, I like it not blacked out. So I will accept that. Oh, and the other part of the design, I should have done this before, but I can add it now, was that I wanted to add hearts because these little granddaughters are like cute things like hearts. So I can resize them. What I want to do is kind of make a little border under here. Right now the tail here might be a problem on a pop-up. So I'm going to fill this empty space here with some hearts, but they're going to be kind of small because I still want to run a shadow around them. So I'm going to leave the main hearts here and take the shadow over. So you can make the hearts any size you want. I'm just eyeballing it. And I'm going to go to duplicate, edit, duplicate, and fill in as many columns as I need. I think maybe I could have a little more space, 0.06, and then I guess 5 of them would be good enough. Maybe I'll make that 0.8 on this space. And apply. And I also want to fill in up here, so I'm going to left click this, Control Shift and drag, so that when I make a tab across the top, it'll go all the way across. It makes for a stronger pop-up to have this straight across and that straight across. So I'm going to shadow these. Let me send them to their own layer and make them light pink. This one too. And now I'm going to add a shadow to that, and the same size as what I was using. I want it to kind of run into the other. That looks fine, except, and then I'll shadow this the same way. And my goal here is to make sure that all of these shadows kind of overlap. So I'm going to select them, left click, hold a shift, left click, and left click, just the shadows. And I'm going to weld those. I'm going to send them to the top, make them dark red, and send them to the bottom, move layer to the bottom, so I can see did that work. Well, these are not quite overlapping enough. I'm going to undo. I want these down here to be overlapping a little bit more. Oh, I didn't undo it enough. There. So I'm just using my arrow to overlap the black parts. And now I'll select just the black lines and weld. Change those to burgundy. Let's see, right click and move layer to bottom. Okay. Now that looks pretty much like I like it. This heart's a little bit higher than this. I'm going to undo it because I don't want this shadow to be higher than the honey. I can tell when the top of this selection is pretty close to this one. So I'll weld it again. And change it to burgundy, move to the bottom. Okay, now that looks the way I want it. What I'm going to do is left click on this shadow layer and Control C, copy, then go over to Pop-Up Card Studio, and I'll start a new project. I'm going to make this card, I think I would like it to be height of 5.5 and maybe the width. I made this other one 5.5, but I think I'll make this 4.25 to make it an A2 size. So I have it tall and narrow. So the first thing I want to do is build a pedestal, and I'm going to make that just a polygon, a square. Double click the square, and we'll make this fit for the base of the card. Let's see what I have here. I think 3.5 inches will do. 3.5 and enter, and I want it 2 inches high, and it's on the 1 inch plane right now, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going to center that by clicking the center and then align to bottom plane, take it to the bottom, look at it here. I'm going to fold it in half to the back by clicking on this icon, the fold icon, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth icon from the right, and it automatically makes a little pedestal. I'll accept that. So you see that I've got a pedestal on which to put my design. Now my next layer, I'm going to put on a different plane. I'm going to put it on a 0.75 and enter. So now that you see this is in a little bit from the pedestal, gives it a little more depth here. Now I'm going to paste, edit paste, to paste my design here from Make the Cut. And I have to crop it, have to crop the top edge and the bottom. I'm just going to do them one at a time, so I've got exclusive here, and that means that I'm just going to trim a little bit, but I'm going to take it snapping down to 1/28 so I can trim just bare bottom. It has to be a straight line in order for it to connect to the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the top. I'm going to trim just a tiny bit. I could do this in 2 stages, but I'm going to try to just get it all at once. So now I'm going to click on the arrow here. I'm going to select the shape, center it, and drop it down, and it lands right on that little pedestal. So those lines are all ready to fold, and all I need to do now is add the anchors to the top. I'm going to click on the space bar to change planes, and it automatically goes to the top. I'm going to change my color to gray so I can see better. Click OK. And I'm going to do this snapping at 1/8 inch, and that's really, really important. Now another thing that really helps is to zoom in, and to zoom in, hold the control key. No, don't hold the control key. Just roll your scroll wheel back. Go as far as you need to. Now what I'm going to do is click on the pen tool, select Auto Quad, and this will automatically make me a rectangle. So I just hover my mouse until I see the blue line going back and the red line to the left of that first yellow. I'm going to left click there. Then I'm going to make a bar all the way across the top. And if I go back to the back of the card, as soon as I see the red line in the back and the blue line there, then I left click, and I've got my top of my design. So now I can kind of scroll out again so you can see that I've got a design and I can now go back to Make the Cut, and I could grab all of my pink things. So I'm just going to hide, well, I can, yeah, I'll hide the red, get rid of my empty layers, and now select all, Control A, and copy. I go back into Pop-Up Card Studio, Control V to paste. Oops, now I'm going to make sure I'm on the right layer, am I? I think I am. I didn't move it. So now I can just, I'm going to change the snapping again to 1/28. And then I can put this right where it needs to be on this card. So I think I would also like to copy some of these hearts. So I'm going to click on that arrow and copy some of these hearts to the bottom of the pedestal to give it a little decoration. They could either be cut out of the pedestal or they could be pasted on afterwards. But if I do Control C copy, then I can bring this down. Maybe I should do it again. Control V paste. And I can have a few more and get rid of the 2 minis. And then I can kind of put them at different positions if I want. So they could either be cut out or pasted on as you prefer. And they could all be the same height, or you could just kind of put them on there to be random. And that's my card. Any
Julie?
questions? Yes. Oh, I lost my heart.
That's no good. Julie, just on your right-hand side of your pedestal might have to be a bit wider because your the tail of your Y is not giving you anything to connect on that side. Or am I wrong? Oh no, there's enough, sorry. It was just the angle I was looking at, sorry, there is.
I really like this. What you do is you do the right click and you drag so you can change the angle and you can really look at it.
Yeah, it was just the angle I was looking at. Sorry about that. At
the different sides. I did get those hearts, though I forgot to copy. So I'm going to undo a few moves back here. There we go. Now I'm going to take this. I need a couple extra. Copy and paste. So now I can have those. And again, I like a more random look here. I don't want them too close to the top. But I made a card for a teenager a couple of weeks ago, and he was so excited. You know, when you make pop-up cards, they're really special. They know that you didn't go out and buy this. You made them a special gift, and it has a little wow factor, and it's so easy to make. So if you don't want to do a trifold card, you could try a pop-up card. And what I do on this, again, is you go to, if you don't want to cut it and make the cut, well, first you have to export anyway, either project rendering, that'll take it to the machine. But I want to take it to, if I want to take it to an SVG, then I select this, and I'm going to call this birthday pop-up